What if the AI assistant you trust with your most sensitive conversations has been secretly hijacked to hand your data to a stranger without you ever knowing? That is not a hypothetical. It is a real attack vector that has been quietly exploited for months, and now OpenAI is fighting back with a feature that changes how ChatGPT handles your security entirely. Here's everything you need to know. To understand why this matters, you first need to understand what a prompt injection attack actually is. When you use ChatGPT in agent mode, letting it browse the web, run deep research, or retrieve images on your behalf, the AI reads content from external websites and documents. Attackers discovered they could hide malicious instructions inside that content, invisible to you, but readable by the AI. The model would then follow those hidden commands, potentially exfiltrating your private data to a third party. It is a sophisticated, dangerous, and largely invisible threat. OpenAI's response is called lockdown mode, and it is now rolling out to ChatGPT users. This new security setting is specifically engineered to neutralize prompt injection attacks at their source. When you enable lockdown mode, ChatGPT disables a specific set of features that create the attack surface in the first place. Live web browsing is turned off. Agent mode is disabled. Deep research capabilities are suspended. Image retrieval is blocked. Canvas networking is shut down. In short, any feature that requires ChatGPT to fetch and process external content, the pipeline attackers exploit, is taken offline. The design philosophy here is significant. Rather than trying to detect and filter malicious injected prompts in real time, which is an extraordinarily difficult problem given how sophisticated these attacks have become, OpenAI chose to eliminate the exposure entirely. You cannot be attacked through a door that is locked shut. Lockdown mode is exactly that, a hard boundary between your conversation and the external internet. The trade-off is real and intentional. Enabling lockdown mode means sacrificing some of ChatGPT's most powerful features. Users who rely on deep research for work, or who depend on agent mode to automate complex tasks, will need to choose between capability and maximum security. OpenAI is not hiding this trade-off. The mode is opt-in, which means users retain control. Those handling highly sensitive information, lawyers, executives, journalists, researchers, now have a formal tool to protect their sessions. For everyday users, the standard mode remains unchanged. The broader context here is that as AI assistants become more autonomous and more deeply integrated into professional workflows, they become higher-value targets. Prompt injection is not a niche academic concept anymore. Security researchers have demonstrated practical attacks across multiple AI platforms, and the threat has escalated alongside AI capability. An AI that can browse the web, execute code, and manage files is also an AI with a much larger attack surface than a simple chatbot. What this move signals about the industry is equally important. OpenAI shipping a dedicated security mode suggests that the company views prompt injection not as a bug to be quietly patched, but as a structural challenge requiring a user-facing solution. That framing matters. It acknowledges that some threat categories cannot be solved purely at the model level, and that users deserve transparency and control over their own risk profile. Watch for other AI companies to follow. If ChatGPT's lockdown mode gains adoption, particularly among enterprise and professional users, competitors including Google's Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, and Microsoft's Copilot will face pressure to offer equivalent protections. The security posture of AI assistants is becoming a competitive differentiator, not just a technical footnote. The bottom line is this: OpenAI just acknowledged, in the clearest possible terms, that AI agents face real-world security threats serious enough to warrant a dedicated defense mode. That is a milestone moment for the industry. Lockdown mode is live. It is rolling out now, and if you work with sensitive data inside ChatGPT, you need to know it exists. The question is not whether you should care about AI security. The question is whether you are already protected.